You guys do have a couple questions that were not in our previous video on Ecology II, so this is my little kind of appendix, my little add-on to Ecology II. In that other video, we talked about ecological pyramids, and it showed the different organisms at each of those levels. But one of the things I didn't mention is that at each of those levels, it's showing a relative number of organisms at each of the trophic levels. Okay, so the difference between relative, so we have a little language lesson here, relative versus absolute. When you have an absolute number, you have a concrete number or a very defined number, okay? When you have something that's relative, it's more of a general comparison. So kind of my example for that is we could say that relatively speaking, there are more students in class compared to the number of teachers in class. Okay? If we wanted to give an absolute number to that, we would say something like there are 29 students compared to one teacher. Okay, so one of those is relative, the other is absolute. So in that food pyramid, when you have these different pyramids, relatively speaking, where are most of the organisms going to be? Yeah, down here towards the bottom, okay, which is going to be our producers. So relatively speaking, we expect to see producers more than our consumers. All right, and the last thing here to add on to our appendix, I used the word biomass, but I didn't really define what that was. So biomass is the total mass of organisms at a trophic level. Okay, so bio meaning life, and mass just kind of talking about how much there is, how much of that stuff. So how much life. So our total mass of organisms at a trophic level, another way of thinking of that is how much life at each level. Okay, which again goes back to that idea of the relative number of organisms.